Thanks, Wes. And Superintendent Gary Malloy will get back with us on more on this situation throughout the week. And there'll be a conference at Carambola on the subject of solar energy in the near future. Here's an idea of some of the things we can expect. Let's take a look.
I'm Tom Buchanan with the Virgin Islands Energy Office, and I want to inform the public about the upcoming workshop that the Energy Office is putting on. It's going to be at Carambola August 19th. That's this Thursday. It's going to be 9 a.m. to about 3 p.m. We're bringing down some experts from the States. The reason we're having this is because residents want it, basically. We had one on St. Thomas so a little over 2 years ago. We had 160 people there. And so now we're doing it in St. Croix. We're already filling up fast. We recommend you call the Energy Office if you want to have a reservation. The Energy Office number is 713-8436. You can also find out information on our webpage, www.vienergy.org. The conference is August 19th, 9 a.m. at the Carambola, and it should be over about 3 p.m. People are recommended to call in reservations at 714-8436.
And when we come back from this break, it's happy birthday to Social Security. Stay with us. And let's take a look at your Caribbean report for tonight. The number 2 man of the Organization of American States, OAS, has met with officials in St. Kitts and Nevis to discuss the country's forthcoming general election. Albert Ramdin, OAS Assistant Secretary General, was in Basse-Terre this week to witness the signing of the treaty to establish the economic union of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. An election is due in the two-island federation by mid-March, but no date has been announced. A release from the OAS said Mr. Ramdin met polling officials and key political leaders, including Prime Minister Denzel Douglas. Ambassador Ramdin expressed the hope that in the good Caribbean tradition of elections in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis would be peaceful, orderly, and well organized. OAS is expected to send a team to monitor the vote. And former Belize Prime Minister Emmanuel Esquivel is among the Commonwealth Caribbean nations honored in the New Year's list by Britain's Queen Elizabeth. Mr. Esquivel, who served 2 terms as Prime Minister in the 80s and 90s, received his award for his service to politics and good governance. Those also receiving knighthoods included retired senior Barbadian public officer Harcourt Lewis, banker Edmund Lawrence of St. Kitts and Nevis, and Justine St. Omar, a prominent artist in St. Lucia. Veteran Barbadian gospel singer Joseph Niles gets a CBE, Commander of the British Empire. Jason Roberts, a striker for the Blackburn Rovers in England's Premier League, is also awarded an MBE for his charity work in Grenada. Roberts said, "This is for all the people that have worked so hard for the charity and made it a success. I want to give something back, and that's why I set up this charity. But you never expected recognition for this." And in Puerto Rico, a judge has barred the construction of a conservational monkey breeding facility. The decision just released came in a lawsuit filed by 9 residents of Guayama in southern Puerto Rico and the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals. Superior Court Judge Juan Frau Escudero ruled the construction permits should not have been awarded because the plant would be built on land reserved for agricultural purposes. The residents argued Biocultural Limited, the company planning the facility, failed to hold a public hearing or submit full environmental impact statements. Bioculture denied the allegations, and the Mauritius-based company said it would appeal the ruling. The company plans to build a facility that would hold 3,000 macaque monkeys and supply them with pharmaceutical companies for research. And that's your Caribbean report for tonight. Happy birthday, Social Security. The Department of Social Security turns 75 years old recently, and News Channel 8's Lee Carl was there.
To say the least, it was a brief ceremony because there's a luncheon and the celebration here today of the 75th years of service. Roberto Calabayo, the head of Social Security, and the governor, the cabinet, members of VRPO were here. And so here is the brief ceremony.
As you know, 75 years is a long time. We started out with paper. Now we've got computers. As you know, Social Security has one of the best websites on the internet. It's rated one of the top 10, if you didn't know it. And of course, it's got a whole bunch of information. But let's keep it relevant to us. Right now in the Virgin Islands, we have 19,805 persons receiving Social Security. 19,000, that's a lot. A senator could win very easily with that amount.
Today, 7 out of 10 single seniors and 5 out of every 10 married seniors receive benefits from more than half their entire income from the program. And they aren't the only ones benefiting from Social Security. We have survivors and disability benefits coverage, which help Americans, including Virgin Islanders, by promoting income which help to sustain them.
When you think of the 75 years and our participation in those that lived here versus those that were in the States, we've really come a tremendously long way in terms of our development. So it really shows that as much as we progress, we can always continue to do better. I think today is a reflection of that, as represented primarily by these two tremendous organizations in terms of what they do each and every day. And I just want to say thank you for them, for all that they continue to do, all behind the scenes, out in front, pushing on health care, pushing on retirement, but more importantly, pushing to make sure that we never forget how important our seniors are.
Thanks, Lee Carl. And when we come back from this break, we'll take a look at your Sports 411. Stay with us.